This is the Subaru Ascent 2023 Touring delivery. So starting with the tires, we do put nitrogen in the tires. That's why there's this little green cap. What does that mean? It means that you won't have the fluctuation in temperature with cold and hot. So if you do need to fill it with air, you can put in air temporarily, but it might mean you have a slow leak or maybe a faulty valve. But we do put nitrogen into the tires, just so you are aware. Push to open. So notice I can't push it right now because the doors are locked. If I hit the unlock button, which is on the key right here, so this button right here, unlock. So you can see the Subaru symbol. That's your unlock. This would be your lock button. So once the doors are unlocked, I can simply press to open the gas door, and there is still a plug there. So then you can just close it. There's no need to go into the driver footwell to open anything. In the rear, you can see underneath here there's a little button right here that you press to open. And then your automatic lift gate will open up on the top here. This allows you to either lock everything, so you press this, it will lock all the doors, or you press this to close. The components here, the hydraulics, are actually pretty heavy duty, so if you do want to pull down on the lift gate, it'll automatically just start taking it all the way down and it will close. So let's try that again. Press to open, and it opens up. There's one other thing I want to show you right here. So if you're looking down underneath on this left side, so right where the Subaru symbol is, over to this left side, there's a little button right here. This button is a relock button. So it does the same thing as this button here, where it locks all of the doors. So let's say you've got your groceries, you've got your stuff, you press this button, and it's gonna lock all the doors for you. Some things about the back. So now she's locked. Let me open it up. In the back, some of the accessories are back here in the car. This is the other car. So underneath, if you lift this little loop, you'll find the compartment cover and the jack attachment stuff for the tire, the spare tire. And then if you go underneath here, you'll see the spare tire is right underneath. I don't know if you can see that. So that is actually a crank down. If you'd like to lower the seats, you can actually pull up on this little strap right here. See, it pulls the seats back, and then if you pull and press at the same time, it flaps the seats down. If you'd like to lift the seats back up, you use this little strap here, pulls the seats up into their upright position. Now again, if you want to recline the seats, you pull on the strap, and then it reclines the seats slightly. These headrests are movable, so you can see down here there's a little notch that will allow you to adjust the headrests on the seats. And let's go back into the main part of the cabin, and we'll start delivering all that to you. All right, so going to the side door, you can see there's a little groove right here. To unlock the doors, you place your hand in the handle. It unlocks the doors, and then your side mirrors are going to unfold from the sides. If you'd like to lock the doors, you place your hand on the handle where you see the groovy part, and that locks the doors, and it will fold the mirrors. Also notice that right here you have a little place to be able to use an actual key. So if you look at your key fob on the very back, there's a little notch that will allow you to take the key out, as you can see there. So that's if for some reason the fob is not working, you know, the battery's out of the fob, then you'll be able to use that to get into the door. And from left to right, let's go through all the features in the vehicle. So to be able to set up your door, you've got driver's seat settings 1 and 2 right here. To be able to set them, you have to have the engine on. You press set and 1 at the same time, and that will set your seat. So you want to adjust your seat accordingly. Down here, you'll see that you can fold your side mirrors with this button right here. And this allows you to move to the left mirror and adjust how the mirrors are oriented. So it works like a little joystick. So you can move to the left, right, up and down. As you can see, that's how you adjust the mirrors. And then you do that respectively to the right. You've got your lock and your unlock for the doors. You've got automatic for the each of the drivers and passenger, and then these are for the rear windows. This is the window lock, you know, to keep the kids and grandkids and dogs safe so that they're not hitting on the windows. Down on the lower left side dash, from left to right, you've got the liftgate open button, so you can press and hold this and that'll open the liftgate. This is an illumination button, so this illuminates all the lights in the cabin. So think like there are people in the back, they need a map light. They'd be able to see with this, and this will turn on everything. And then this is your dash dimmer switch. So if, you know, the dash is looking a little bit dim, just adjust it all the way up so the 2 dots are touching, and that will be great. Then over here, I want to look at your lights. We've got, right now they're in the off position, so you can see the line is aligned with the 0. I crank it once up, and that would be auto. So auto is automatic. Turns the lights on automatically for you. You don't have to do any work. When you go in automatic position from park into drive, your daytime running lights will turn on, which is like the little L curve around your lighting. So that's how your typical lights will work. Then you could crank it one up if you want to manually turn on your parking lights, or if you want to manually turn on your headlights. But auto would be your best positioning for lots of reasons. And then there are fog lights on this car, so you can see right now they're in the off position. If I turn this little wheel, that puts your fog lights into the on position anytime your headlights are on. So they work with your headlight operation. And the light sensor is up here, so it's taking the light from outside and letting you know, okay, it's time to turn the headlights on. I'm going to go from left to right on the steering wheel, and I'm going to turn the vehicle on so we can start to see some of this stuff. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. All right, left side of the steering wheel. These arrows right here scroll you to your next track. So let's say you're in some sort of audio setting. You'll be able to see your next track here by just hitting that button. Next, next, next. Source is available audio source. So think like AM, FM, Sirius XM radio, those kinds of things that you'll see right here on the touch screen. So radio functions. And then this little toggle here, the up arrow, is going to scroll you through the information between the tachometer and speedometer. This is called a combination meter. So it shows you how much fuel is in the tank, like average fuel economy, which is terrible right now because this car's only gone 19 miles, time and air temperature outside, a little bit of information on the audio. It'll show you compass, tire pressure on each individual tire, and such. So there's a lot to be looking at here. And then you notice behind that or below that is your digital speedometer, as well as your regular speedometer to the side, your gas gauge. Down here it shows your trip. So you can see I can switch it from A to B, and right now the trip settings are, you know, we've got 19 miles and they reset it at 2 miles. So you can always adjust those things by pressing and holding, and that will reset your trip. Just know that your fuel economy is, calculator is going to reset with it, and it takes some time for the car to recognize what you're really getting out of the tank, or guesstimating how many miles till empty. Over here again on the left side, once we get your phone paired to the system, this is your pickup button and this is your hang up button. So pick up, hang up, and this also mutes your audio. So that's what this one will do right here. And then to the right side, this right here would be the talk button. So this is how you actually talk to your car. You can press this button. Once your phone is paired with the system, you'll be able to do things like Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. And what it does is it allows you to like say, hey Siri, what time is it? Or hey Siri, take me home, or okay Google. I'm not sure if you have an iPhone or not, but you know, let me know and we'll get this paired before you leave on Monday. This is your volume. So volume up and down for any settings in the car, and also notice that there's a volume dial on the left side of the touch screen. So this is an actual physical dial. This button also allows you to mute. So if I hit this once, it mutes the audio. So it muted the audio. And the other thing it will do is if you press and hold it down, it will allow you to turn off the touch screen. So if it's too much, too bright, you can turn it off by pressing and holding. Yay! Right side of the steering wheel. On the right side, we've got your cruise control. So if I turn on the cruise, little animation pops up between the tachometer and speedometer. And from here, if I want to set my cruise control, I would just use this little toggle switch here. See how you can pull down to set? You can flick it up and down. That's what the plus and minus do. That changes your speed. So think like when you change your cruise control, if you want it 60 miles per hour, you press up, 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 up until it gets to 60. And where it's got these 3 little dashes right here, you'll see your maximum speed that it will go. So if you set it at 60, you'll never go above 60. It's only 60. But if somebody is going slower in front of you, your car will slow down to whatever distance you set. So let's say this is the furthest distance from the lead vehicle. This is the closest distance to the lead vehicle. So at the furthest distance, if we're going 60 and we're following them at 60 miles an hour, this would be 200 feet of stopping distance. And if I shorten that distance, it'd be more like 100 feet. So the idea is that it's adapting to the vehicle in front of you. It will speed you down and slow you, speed you up and slow you down based on distance. Then we've got this other handy so these are the distance buttons, I should mention. I don't know if I pointed them out before. And then this is the handy dandy lane keep assist button. So it will help to keep you centered between the lane markings. It also will use your adaptive cruise control to help keep you centered behind the lead vehicle. So it uses both options. Then down here, your heated steering wheel. You know it's on when you get the gold light. You got plus and minus on the back of the steering wheel here, and those are your manual shift modes. So if you go into manual mode instead of drive, you can use those paddle shifters to speed up and slow down based on, you know, like if you wanted to affect a manual mode, or maybe you wanted to like engine brake or use yourself to go uphill or downhill, whatever that might be. Then on this side, we've got your windshield wipers. So this should be pretty easy. One touch up, windshield wipers go once, and they go down, 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 down to get more speed. And then this rear windshield wiper is right here. So you can notice right here, if I look in the back, windshield wiper is just gonna go intermittently. And then if I click it once more, it's gonna go more frequently. Then I can also use this to get fluid. So if I crank it all the way up or all the way back down, like this, it'll give us fluid back there. If I push it toward me, the whole stick, if I crank this whole stick toward me, it gives me washer fluid in the front. So those are the basics on your steering wheel and your dashboard.